Hello soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel, Falolu's Fortune, where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So as you can see from the title, I am back with another intuitive makeup look. I think I've made some improvements on this. Scoot it back just, ooh. Okay, we are finally ready. Literally like 30 minutes later. We're just gonna get into this intuitive makeup look. I'm only using one eyeshadow palette this time. I did prime my eyes, but mind you, it happened 30 minutes ago, so I don't know how well it's gonna work. But the palette that I'm using today is the Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. This is an oldie but a goodie. You see it's been well loved. This baby was in my makeup kit, and now it's just mine because I don't do makeup professionally anymore. But you can see why it's so good, right? Now, this is kind of a cheap palette as well. Not cheap, cheap palette, because it's really easy. Like, I feel like I really can't go wrong with this palette. So, as you guys know, I am just going to be closing my eyes when I choose the colors. The palette is laying flat. So yeah, we're just going to get a brush. I'm just picking one. I guess hopefully we choose a crease color because I definitely got a crease brush. Maybe I should just choose with my finger and then use the brush. I feel like that would be better. And while I'm doing this, I will just be giving you guys some life updates, some messages, some something. Anywho, let's just go ahead and choose. I'm going to close my eyes and pick over here. That was a very direct, wow, that's so funny. All right, so I ended up choosing this burgundy color, which obviously you could tell I love this one. This is one of the few that's panned here. So yeah, I will be using that. So there's a lot of things coming up about security, which is actually really interesting considering that I chose a burgundy eyeshadow. Y'all know red is the root chakra, has everything to do with safety and security. But a lot has been coming up about that for me. And there's something about just knowing that I am safe and that there's no rush, because I feel like sometimes if you feel rushed, if you feel like, you know, something's about to happen, so you need to find something else, it keeps you from doing what you're actually supposed to be doing. So for me, my full-time job has been acquired by another company, and that company is moving over a lot of our business and everything, and it's been a process, but it's getting to the point where we really don't have as much work to do as we had. So there are some days where I'm like, hey, you need help with anything? Or like, you know, just trying to find something to do with my time, and it's making me a little nervous. And so yeah, the message that has been coming up has just been that if you know you're safe and you don't have anything to worry about, what would you do instead of looking for another job? Although I am doing that as well. The thing is though, I'm really picky about the job that I want. Like, I want to actually enjoy what I do. Because that's one thing about this one. It's offered me a lot of security. I'm very grateful for it. But I don't like what I do. I kind of fell into accounting. It's not, and I'm good at it, but it's not a passion at all. So, yeah, it's just been like, you know, if you know you're safe, what would you do? And it's so interesting because I would normally have associated that with the Goddess or Queen of Pentacles. I have a deck that I use, and instead of Queen and King, it uses God and Goddess. So normally I would have associated that with like Queen of Pentacles energy. But the God of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, is actually what has been coming up with that. And so there's something even about like masculine energy feeling safe to do what truly calls to it instead of what's necessary for security and stability and things like that. And this makes perfect sense considering we literally just had the full moon, not the full moon, the new moon in Pisces. Today is March 19th. The new moon in Pisces was yesterday, March 18th. So it does make sense that that would be coming up, because Pisces is all about getting into that heart chakra and really figuring out and fleshing out what you truly want to do, not for security, or not just for security, but like if money were no option, if you know you didn't have to pay for food and a roof over your head, like what would you be doing with your time? It's also about like getting deeper with your relationships and your connections. All right, so that shadow is on. It's time to choose another one. Y'all see I just put it in my crease and kind of blended it out. I love it. So simple. Okay, what's next? What's next? I did not bring eyeliners out here. I'm gonna have to go grab those. That did not hit anything. It hit the palette, but it didn't hit a shade. Interesting. Are you serious? What is... I don't know what's up with me in this little general area of the palette, but I got this orange shade that's right next to the burgundy I just used. So I guess we'll use that. Y'all, I'm trying. I'm really trying. And I'm using my left hand. Like, that's what I consider my, like, intuitive side, because I'm right hand dominant. So anyway, I'm probably just going to take this and put it a little bit over the burgundy. Just like, you know, kind of like the crease area. It's about finding things that are truly in alignment. And even with my second, or my new job search, I realize that I'm still taking that guidance forward. Like, I'm not just looking for another job that will pay the bills. I'm really looking for something that is aligned. So there's something, because Divine Masculine is the energy that takes action. So Divine Feminine is creating and having all the ideas, having the epiphanies, attracting what she wants. Which is funny, because I think the first video, the first intuitive makeup video, was actually Divine Feminine energy. I think the Empress came up. And now it's the Divine Masculine energy that's coming up, specifically in the form of the King of Pentacles. So it's something about realizing that, like, yes, you need security. Yes, you need money. Money makes the world go round. But you also want to be happy, especially if you have to be at these places 40 hours a week minimum. You know, there are a lot of people who work way more than that, but minimum 40 hours a week. You want to make sure you're in a good environment, you're doing something that you enjoy. Because that can actually, it's interesting that this is coming up, but that can actually even help mitigate like health issues, which will save you money in the long run. Because, you know, stress is a killer. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try to choose something sparkly, because I really just need something on my lid, and then we can move on to blush and lips. I want to choose a sparkly. I guess we're doing a smoky eye today. Oh wait, this is sparkly. It didn't look sparkly when it was laying down, but it's this color here, and it's like a burgundy-ish color. I love that these are all in the middle. It's like 3 smack dab in the middle of the palette. These are the colors that I have chosen. So, what is this? Yeah, it's like a burgundy, coppery sort of color. Very pretty. Not something I would normally pick, though. That's why it's not really used. But yeah, I'm going to just put this on my lid. And then I guess I'll move on to blush. I'll go get my eyeliners a little later. What else do I have here? Yeah, there's something about time not being used wisely, because, and this may be just for me, so I'm going to tell you what came up for me. And then if it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, as always, just leave it. There's something about using my time wisely. So the message that came up was that there's no immediate concern about me losing my job. Because that is kind of a worry of mine, is that, you know, as the workload dies down, they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to make some adjustments. If the work's not there to justify having so many employees, then they're going to have to start getting rid of people. But my ancestors basically said there's no immediate worry about that. But but it is important to use time wisely. So if you're gonna apply to jobs, aka me, if I'm going to apply to jobs, it's important to apply to jobs that I actually want, not just for the money, but also for the potential career growth, also for the industry, like just also for what the job is. Like, is it something that you would do for free anyway? Or maybe not necessarily for free, but is it at least in an industry that you care about? Like, is it aligned at all emotionally? But also, I've been saying for the longest that I don't even want another job, which is true. You know, I will work for people. Obviously, I need to, but that's not really my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to be self-employed, live a creative life, whether it's creating content, creating art, creating music, writing books, which I've done all of that just about, but it just hasn't really produced a lot of income. So it's like also making sure I'm using my free time to continue striving towards that goal as well, because that is truly what I want. Like, if I had to choose between another job that's really aligned and pays really well and just being self-employed and free and making good money that way, I would 1000% rather be self-employed. But I do understand that I'm not actually there right now, so I'm looking for it. So it's kind of like attacking both things, attacking both goals from the heart realm and making sure they are still aligned. Even though one is more so what I want, it's like Spirit understands that you have to take baby steps to get there, whatever your goal is. But you can still take aligned steps. You know, it doesn't have to just be pure sacrifice and misery 24/7, pure responsibility, all of the weight on your shoulders. Like, you can actually enjoy some of the things that you also have to do. Yeah, the message that really came through very strongly was just know that I'm safe and create accordingly. So creating, and I feel like create in this sense isn't even just art. It's really talking about creating a life that I want. And all of us can do that. We're all creators of our own life experience. Ooh, we're cooking. Sorry. As I was saying, we're all creators of our own life experience. So it's important to just be aware of what we're creating and also create from the heart space. This message, I want to say, also came up in the first video, kind of. But whereas that one was more so about when I touch things, making sure I'm in a good energy, this is more so almost broader. It's just like whatever you're trying to do, whether it's apply for a job, doing the job you're at right now, trying to create a new life, a new lifestyle, creating content, whatever it is that you're trying to create and call in, you want to make sure you're calling it in from your heart space, from a space of what you truly want and not from a space of fear. And that, because that's how you keep the cycles going. The messages are just kind of, so let me go ahead and choose a blush. I'm choosing from the same two blush palettes today. This is the Juvia's Place Saharan blush palette, volume 1. I think this is the same one I had in the first video. And it looks like this. And the other blush palette that I may be using is the Sephora Pro Face Palette in the shade Deep. It's there somewhere, it says it, yeah. And then, let me get this mirror out of the way. These are the colors here. This is the color that I use for my contour. So I'm going to try to stay away from that one. Contour gets a little dramatic. I don't want to build it up too much. So, yeah. As I did at first, I'm just going to lay these flat and let my brush guide me. I have my little blush brush right here. So I'm just going to close my eyes. Yeah, I got to close my eyes. I can't look even in the camera because I can kind of see them there. And 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's so funny. Every time I do it for the blush, I end up on like 2 blushes. So again, we're going with the Sephora Pro palette. Okay. And it predominantly landed in Queen, which is this like, again, it's like this coppery highlighter color. It's beautiful. Definitely more of a highlighter than a blush. But it predominantly landed here, and then it kind of landed in Jet Setter as well. So yeah, I guess that's the formula. Mainly use Queen and then dip a little bit in Jet Setter. We're just gonna see what happens. I don't usually use highlighter as blush, but it kind of worked last time. So as I'm doing this, I'm just realizing like how much makeup I don't use. Like I'm truly a creature of habit. So this is kind of fun to just see how other things look on my face that I probably wouldn't try otherwise. The lipsticks that I chose for today, I actually have two different lipstick palettes. They're both from Danessa Myricks. Again, these were in my kit once upon a time. And they are the Luxe Cream palettes. This one is called the Feminist, and this one is called the Nudist. So I'm just gonna take these lids off and do the same thing. Try to figure out which lip color I want. And of course I have a lip brush here as well. So that's what I'm gonna be using to actually choose the color. Probably should have got a lip liner too. I feel like a lot of these need lip liners, but we'll see. We'll see what color gets chosen. For some reason, I'm feeling like doing two. I'm feeling kind of ombre, like use one as a liner, use the other one as the actual lipstick. Okay. All right, so we ended up in the Feminist palette, which is the more pinkish one. This is not the one I use as often. And this is the color here. All right, so I definitely am feeling like this should be the inside lip color. Hopefully we choose something that complements this. Huh. It's like a pink chocolate. It's actually not, I mean, I do think it needs a liner, but it's more flattering than I expected actually. We are going to try again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we did not land on anything. We landed on the eyeshadow palette and not even in the color, just on the palette. Try again. 3, 2, 1. Oh, thank goodness. This is not very clear though, because it's also kind of in two. So this time we ended up in the Nudist palette, but I'm trying not to move this. It kind of moved though. So the brush is like smack dab in the middle of these two. So I guess we're gonna mix these two. I do feel like the darker one would be better for a lip liner with this color, but I'm gonna do as I intuitively directed myself to do. It's not my favorite. First of all, I'm not the biggest fan of pink lips. If I do pink lips, it's usually with a blue eye. I don't know why whenever I do my eyes blue, I'm like, let's make it real bubblegum. But yeah, pink lips with like a coppery eye, I'm just not feeling it. It does look better on camera. I still don't feel like it looks great though, but whatever. Luckily it's not like a matte lipstick, so I could take it off after if I want to and like do something else. Y'all, there are some colors in this pile that would absolutely not go well with what I have going on my eyes, so wish me luck. All right, I'm gonna do what I did last time and just, I don't know, do I want to do it that way? I don't know. I don't think I want to like spread them out. Like last time I just rubbed them, and then the last one I was holding was the one I went with. I think this time I'm gonna just like shuffle them and then pick one. And I'm getting, again, pick with my left hand. What do we got? Oh, thank God. I think this intuitive side of me really likes me, and I really like it because this could have gone so much worse. It's literally just black. It's just black, which I'm grateful because that is probably the only color I have that would actually work here. This is the, I haven't even been telling y'all my, I have been telling y'all my products, haven't I? Yeah. All right, so this is the NYX eyeliner stick in the shade Pitch Black. And I am just going to do this with the mirror because I need that, kind of. Really, I don't, but I need it for after I do this part. So the only other thing that came up in today's message was a lot about love. For some reason, the movie A Lot of Ado About Nothing just came to my mind. I think that's the title, A Lot of Ado About Nothing. I'll have to look that up. The numbers, which will also be listed in the title, but the numbers that came up are 929, 696, 1010, 919, and 949. Heavy emphasis on nines, but also tens, because I was seeing 10, the number 10 specifically a lot. And that has to do, both of those numbers have to do with endings and beginnings. 10 specifically has to do with both, actually, because 10 is a number of completion, but 1 plus 0 equals 1, which is a new beginning. So there does seem to be an energy or a portal opening that will allow for a new beginning, but it's important that it be new all around. You know, you don't want to step into another job that you hate, or another job that you're not passionate about. I think it's not just about the new thing, but also about the new energy that you're breathing into that thing. And like a lot of astrologers are talking about this too, like how there's a new window of opportunity opening up, but the energy, which I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know for real like which planets are affecting that or whatever, but I feel like, okay, I really need my phone, so I really need to be done with this part. Because I feel like I did hear one of them say that Jupiter is in Cancer currently, which also, it's another water sign, so it's very focused on the heart space. And Jupiter is the planet of fortune and luck and like coincidence, if that's what you want to call it, but blessings, for lack of a better word. And so if that's the case, it's like your blessings, your abundance, it's coming from tapping into your heart space, tapping into your emotions, and really figuring out what it is you want. Not just for security, but like emotionally, what do you want? What do you want to feel every day when you go to work? So yeah, I'm going to put this away because I do like that. My last thing that I do have to do is mascara, but I don't want to forget my thoughts. So let me look up. I think maybe it's a bunch of ado about nothing. It's something of ado. Yes, a lot of ado about nothing. Okay, I was right. Much ado about nothing. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a Shakespeare play focused on love, deception, and wit. The plot hinges on misinformation, eavesdropping, and the comedic blunderings of the local watchmen. If you know me, you know I have beef with Shakespeare. Not really, but I just feel like in my school, we read something by Shakespeare every single year. And I'm just kind of over it because there was so much other literature that I think would have been more relevant, more current, more of my peers and I would have been able to relate to. Like, we didn't read any Octavia Butler. We didn't read anything that I feel probably would have been of like more interest or like would have captivated more interest. It was at least one Shakespeare play a year. And yeah, I just, so yeah, I do have a little bit of beef with Shakespeare, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess this is my call to actually learn something or watch something by him. So I'm gonna see if I can find a version of the play somewhere, maybe on YouTube. Yeah. And then what was the other thing? Oh, Jupiter. Jupiter transit. As of March 2026, Jupiter is transiting in Gemini. I'm sorry. And then there's an upcoming shift into Cancer in June 2026. So June may be important for somebody or for all of us, but it goes into Cancer in June 2026. Currently, it is in Gemini, though. Okay. All right. Alrighty. So what are we doing? Mascara. Mascara is the last thing. Let me give you the last few messages I got. These are pretty quick, I think. R&B music was heavy today in my head, so I actually did take a trip down the 80s, 90s R&B wave, a little bit 2000s. Destiny's Child was in there. First message is that love is everywhere. Like, there is no shortage of love. It's basically a guarantee. Take that as you will. I had multiple songs come up. I have Love by Nat King Cole. You know, L is for the way you look at me. I'm gonna need y'all to remind me when I'm doing my content on OF to dance with Beta that song, because it's such a cute song. Also have a song by Bjork. I really don't know how to pronounce her name. Can we figure this out really quick? So sorry. Pronunciation.
Bjork.
Okay, yeah, Bjork. And it's called All Is Full of Love. Love that song. That was like my first introduction to her, and it wasn't my first, it was my second. Love that song. Brighter by Paramore kind of came up as well. It was like at the very beginning of my meditation, so but the part specifically that sticks out is You Shine Brighter Than Anyone. So that's a beautiful message for whomever. And that's really all I have for these messages. Like, love is everywhere. It's within, without you. Within and without you. It's inside and outside of you. There we go. So, you know, if love is everywhere, there's nothing to fear. What are you gonna do? There's something about like being in the energy and making moves out of fear that keeps fear alive. But if you know you're safe, if you know you're secure, if you know that you can get whatever job you want or have any life that you want, then what are you gonna do? How would you move? How would you move differently if you're actually operating from your heart and not from fear? Whew, child, I'm over here cooking and putting on mascara. That's crazy. Y'all know how I get when I'm like, when the messages start resonating or being accurate for me. I'm almost done. I'm sorry. I actually do like this. This is not something I would put together on my own. Absolutely not. But I'm not mad at it. Now that the eyeliner is on, the mascara is on, and I'm not mad at it. I think next time, potentially, we'll have to see when I do this again. But next time I might actually go in with a more colorful palette. Like maybe something that's all color so that I can actually get something more creative happening here. But I'm not mad because I do have work tonight, so I do need to look, you know, not like a clown. Okay. I need to be able to wear whatever I do outside. So, right. Let me just give y'all a zoomed in view really quick. I might have to, let me do this and then turn it up. So, my lovelies, this is the final look. Totally intuitive. I do like it. I like how these videos are doing me. They aren't actually horrible. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope the message resonated. I hope you guys are enjoying this sort of content. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see y'all in my next video. Mwah.